Good people, we are back. Super excited to have Miss Akob with us again. She's a legend. I'm just going to say that with my chest. In front of the masses, in front of her, because it's true. It is true. It's very true.
I'm so excited to be back.
Yes. Thank you so much for coming back. Back like Musana. I was like saying that, guys. It's a terrible joke, but yeah. We're talking about love because it's love on a podcast. It's a continuation. There is a bit of a continuation thing going on. Last time we were talking about what you love doing, which is communicating, which is speaking, which is relaying a message.
That's right.
Right? And today's message, if you're going to relay anything, is about romance. At least the romantic aspect of love.
Love. That's one with the R. Love.
Claps for hands. Yeah, so we're talking about love in a romantic sense. Zooming in on singleness. All right? So the backdrop is that we're in a day and age where anyone and everyone wants to be booed up, somebody, and we want to talk about that. It's a discussion. We want to talk about that. Like, where's that pressure coming from? Is it warranted? Is a person justified in expressing what they desire and long for, what they suffer well? Right. So yeah, that's where the conversation is today. We have a few scriptures, of course. We have a few scriptures prepared as well, just something that will help us unpack this conversation. So, yeah, Ms. Akob, first thoughts.
Singleness.
Yeah.
It almost sounds like one of those, it's so bad, no one wants to say it. It's like, why are you single? People automatically think there's something wrong with you. Is it that you are unlikable? Are your standards too high? That's something else we need to get into. Why are you single? Yeah.
Yeah. It almost seems like you need a vaccine if you're single.
Listen, it's a virus. It's a pandemic.
Singleness is a virus, apparently. I must say this. So one of the biggest things that I think concern me. I think concern is the biggest word. Is the most fitting word, rather. Especially in Christian spaces.
Go there.
Right? There's this pressure, this unspoken pressure to be somebody, right? If it's the women, they're being taught day in, day out to be the perfect wife.
Yeah.
If it's men, they're being taught to be the perfect husband or father. That's if it's happening. Shots. Yeah, because for some men it's a deficiency. Yeah. There's no grooming or discipleship that's happening, right? So that I think I would say this is the focal point of what I want to say. I get it when there's this pressure to be baited up, right? Consider that if you're being taught day in, day out, Sunday after Sunday, that you gotta be somebody, then you now are looking to be somebody, exactly. Right? Secondly, which is also very, very integral, is that this one is hectic. I don't know if you guys are ready for this one, but if we look at sexual expression, right? We have desires. We long to express ourselves sexually. Like that's how God created us, right? Now, there's nothing wrong with the desire in itself. It's the response.
Yeah.
So
do you act on it?
Do you act on it? Now, here's where we really get into the juice here. Consider that you want to act on this desire. You know that the only way you can do that is in marriage. So, rightfully so, there is a pressure to be married so that you can
do the do's.
Do the do's. So, married sex, ladies and gentlemen, so you can partake. So that's a natural cause for the pressure. I don't know. What do you think?
No, I agree with you 100%. Just listening to you talk about the unspoken pressure.
Yeah.
It comes at a time, it comes at very formative years in your life. It comes during, especially those times when a lot of us I'll talk about the one where it's like after 27. Those are the ones where they tell you that, be single, love yourself, because it's more of a quote unquote sympathy. You're not married yet as a woman, you're 27, love yourself. Just be you. But we don't speak about those formative years when you're like 18 to 21, where there's pressure to fail. pressure to make mistakes, where you're hearing, even, okay, well, it's not coming directly from the pastors, but even within the church, people are saying, if you're going to make a mistake, make it now.
Yeah.
So that you can learn from it.
Yeah.
And, grow, so that when you get into, the other parts of life, you've already gone through it. So there is this pressure to go in relationships. Even if you're not planning on getting married to this person, you must make mistakes.
Character development.
Test driving cars.
Also, I must say though, right? Like I said, the pressures are warranted, although we can't always justify them, right? I would say that I think I want to present a few counter arguments, right? The test drive thing, where it makes sense that if someone wants to make a decision that big, such as marrying someone, right?
I twitch. Continue.
You want to make an informed decision,
yeah,
right? And so you need to know as much as you can about this person, whether it's what you can draw from them, what you value about them, what they're good at and what they're not good at, right? That's very expressive, or rather, there's more to it, as I've said it, right? Shared interests, shared values, or whatever. And as we said with the whole sexuality aspect, you want to know if they can do the does, right? But my thing is, I'm going to present a counter argument that, guys, you have a lifetime together.
That's what I've always said. 365 days times how many years that you're going to be together. You will learn the do's and the do's and how to do all the different do's of the do's. What we must realize is that the way we were biologically made, things fit in things. There's really no two ways about it. It's people always like,
how could it be?
It's listen, different models, but the car still drives. It's really, it's the same thing. I think that excuse has really been overused as just one of those things that people use to get through it. But it's also what has caused a lot of young people to be so over-sexualized. And I always refer back to pornography as well, because there's a lot of young people, especially young guys, girls do it as well, don't get me wrong, but a lot of young guys who have this distorted view of what it's supposed to be like. So them wanting to test drive is because they saw Abo XXX Ban doing something and they were like, yeah, my girl should be able to do that as well. And that in itself is problematic.
Precedence, emulation. I do have hair, but I don't know if I can.
It's not the same.
No, man, no, but the damage that worldly agendas and messages have exerted on our generation are just exponential.
It's crazy.
It's scary.
It's scary.
It really is, and I think we have to. I think what suffers a lot more in that light is your identity, your sense of worth, where you feel like you fall short compared to.
And even though that's such a small, guys, it's such a small part of a relationship. It's important, don't get me wrong, but it's such a tiny part of a relationship. You really will see people who have the most lovely hearts, the kindest souls, what, but you are judged or you question yourself based on that single aspect alone, because that's what society has said is what you are valued according to. It's a problem.
No, it's not okay. And I think even just with I want to kind of create a mirroring according to what the Bible presented to us as a reference point and to what is being what is manifesting today, right? From what I know, based on the Bible, is that at some point you are born, then you live, then you're identified as being single, and then you get married.
Straight.
There's no in between, right? Yeah. Before I continue, I want to hear your thoughts on that.
Yeah.
Just that parallel or not.
Look, I think, that's how it was designed to be, and we are human beings. Like you said, we have needs. So we've obviously decided to do snakes and ladders on this journey, and do curves and stuff to get to the final destination. And that's how people go through so much brokenness before they get into a marriage. And by the time they're in the marriage, they've got so much that they're carrying with them. And this comes from the pressure of trying to be in a relationship. I mean, I'm 22. You have to think about that.
22.
Okay. So, and I've been single all my life. And like when people hear that, they're like, yo, even in high school, you know those little flings that you had, like none of that. And it's like, no, because I first of all told myself that I wanted to like get my first degree before getting a relationship, because all these things that happened in high school, really? Were they worth it? Really?
Bachelors before boys.
Like, I mean, there's probably one relationship that I know that started in high school that's still existing. And then you get to university and it's just a lot of sexually crazed young people who for the first time are not living at home and they just want to try out things. And so there's really no one who's looking for a serious relationship. And I didn't want to put myself in that situation where you're setting yourself up for failure, you're setting yourself up for heartbreak. Njolo is a pandemic. You're putting yourself in the middle of a virus.
Vaccinated.
No, man.
Vaccinated Njolo, guys. Yeah. Legit. I actually want to... You spoke about the formative years of our lives, which fall in the 20s, right? Yeah. There's, as you say, there's the pressure of what are you doing with your life to who are you doing with your life? Yet you're supposed to be forming certain things for your future. Now, I think that also speaks to aspects of purpose, agenda, and like where direction, vision. I want to highlight. We did say we're going to dive into the Bible, right? One of my favorite scriptures that helps me navigate this singleness is 1 Corinthians 7, right? 1 Corinthians 7 has instruction or advice and counsel to married people. So just a bit of context. Of course, Paul is speaking to the church of Corinth. And a lot of the times he's correcting, rebuking. A lot of times he's just firing shots. Apostle Paul, like, if you're watching this, wait, I don't know if he's watching this or is watching this.
He's watching this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but anyway, sir. Why? Yo. No, guys, Paul sometimes he was very violent. Just very sharp. Yeah. Yet he's one of my favorite characters in the Bible. But he presented concessions, as he called them, to guide marriage, relations, as well as singleness. And so when he gets to singleness, he says, with this formativeness, or this formative approach to life, you should actually be focusing on serving in the kingdom of the Lord.
That's right.
As a single person.
That's right.
In fact, Mujola is a distraction, according to what Paul was saying.
Go deeper.
And of which it's, well, and I shame, I'm being spicy, but he actually said, at least from the way I interpreted it, marriage is a distraction. Legit. Firstly, there's the aspect of if you're burning, then get married. But also, if you do get married, be aware that you now have to serve your husband or your wife, which takes you away from serving the Lord. Yeah. That's hectic.
Yeah.
So how do we navigate that?
Like you said, Apostle Paul did not come to play games with anybody. He's not one of those apostles that was trying to make people smile. Hey, he said it like it is. And then one of the other things that he said in Corinthians 7 is that singleness is a gift. So I know that people are going to listen to this and their question will be, okay, but then how do we just jump from singleness to marriage? Because that's also an African culture thing. Again, coming from a West African background, there's literally, you can see the divide. It's like a 24-hour divide where you go from stay single, stay away from boys, run away from men, focus on your life. This to where's the man? You've got like your CV. You've literally got pages of what you've achieved. And then, where's your man? So I do understand that there is a time where you are supposed to, interact with people to meet a person. But there must be a purpose. We must have purposeful dating. Yeah. And this is where, again, the purpose in where you are serving in the church and the purpose of finding a partner and knowing that you need to serve God and your partner is by finding out what is the purpose of your dating. Dating at 18, why are you doing it? Are you trying to get married by 20? Because the same Bible says if you are burning, put a ring on it. So at 18, you are dating somebody. When are you going to put the ring on it?
And these are very real questions. Yeah. I mean, guys, being real, right? Consider this. If you are single, you are dependent on your parents. But when you're married, you got to be independent.
That's right.
Right? That's one aspect. Like for a guy, if I'm to now marry a woman and she's studying, that burden becomes my burden.
You're paying school fees, sir.
Bona, like things like that. I mean, you can be fortunate and have arrangements where the parents will be like, okay, no, listen, don't worry. We'll finish what we started, if you're fortunate. But it does become a bill in your household.
Yeah.
Right? So, I mean, guys, also, there were first years at Rhodes that got married after 2 weeks at orientation.
I saw that, and they were like,
that was very interesting. I mean, we didn't have information, but it was interesting to think of that shucks, these people are still studying.
Yeah, still living at, in fact, you're living at res now.
Also.
So.
but things like that, right? Like when you step out of singleness in that kind of light at such a young age, what does it look like?
What is the purpose?
What is the purpose? Especially if you look at the mandates that have been placed on each person.
The mandate of marriage as well. What is the purpose of marriage?
Yeah. And I've heard a lot of things about marriage where marriage is supposed to be based on friendship. That's nice, but I don't think that it's cute. I mean, who wouldn't want to marry their friend?
Look.
Right? But also, if we look at how there's ministry aspect to marriage, you probably don't even need to be friends. It's not a need per se. I mean, it would be useful, right? Like, I mean, just a bit of commentary on Ephesians 5. What it seems like there is that marriage is set for consecration. That's the purpose of it, to consecrate an individual. I was like, that's like character development that went to private school.
Oxford.
Yeah, so I don't know, guys. Singleness is very interesting, to say the least.
It is. And like you said, it being the formative years, I think, look, if there's any advice that the young wees and us can give is, I know if the Bible is saying singleness is a gift, then it's there for a reason.
Yeah.
You know, it's not just being put there to make you feel better. You know, some people go to some scriptures just so that, you know, I'm lonely, but the Bible says that singleness is a gift. It's an actual, it's speaking into our lives. And it's those, the thing is, once you finally get into a relationship with someone, you are walking, yes, you are individuals, but you are walking together in your walk of faith. And if you have not built your own foundation as an individual, you can either be the one that pulls your partner down, or you can be the one who pulls your partner up. Now imagine you're getting married to someone who is there reading their Bibles, they're spiritually this, and you're still in that stage of your life where you're like, you know, daily Bible reading, you know, that one line that pops up, that notification. You will be the one pulling down in the relationship. Yes, you're to build each other, but let's use these years for what they are purposed for.
Yeah, no, I'm with it. Also, like, dating is expensive.
There it is. Please go there. That's a topic.
It's a chat. Dating is expensive. I mean, and when I say expensive, I'm not just talking about the randellas, the money, if you missed the reference, South African rands. Mandela, Randelas, yeah.
Have you patented that?
No, I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, but I appreciate people that are serious about IP. Yeah, shout out. It's not just about the money, but it's also a lot to do with the time. And there's more to it there, but. It's hectic. On that note, there's a lot more to consider. Firstly, in finding fulfillment in your singleness, and also considering what is required when you're in a relationship. So like, as I said, you know, the costs, right? Yeah. Firstly, not just your money, but your time, your effort, and all of that. But also, which is for me is one of the most important things. Governance, right? How do you, in terms of guidance and governance regarding this aspect of life, there is no governance for dating. So, and I'll before I pick your brain on that. If we look at how relationships are guided or counseled or spoken to in the Bible, there is governance for marriage. There is governance for family relations, parents to children. There's governance for friendships, right? There's also governance for the professional space.
Yes,
slaves and masters are spoken to, right? Slaves and masters are spoken to. Husband and wife are spoken to. Father and child, mother and child are spoken to. Are you spoken to? You, sir, who is a boyfriend, are you spoken to? Yeah, so for me, that makes me very nervous. And so at least I think I've been trying to learn how to go about it where at least I know I'm governed in my conduct as a friend. At least I'm governed in my conduct as a man, as a Christian, as a neighbor, right?
Yeah.
That's the best I can do before we profess love and I get on one knee and...
Go there.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, yeah, when people ask me, Godfrey, why aren't you about this dating thing? Or what's happening with this whole relationship aspect? As I try to explain it, that's where my mind is. That governance
is missing.
Is missing.
And because of that, people create their own independent constitutions for dating. That's why you will never hear the clear-cut rule of what which is why every single every church has a dating talk or dating preach or something about that, and it's different. It's always different to other people because they always say it's based on your conviction. That's the word that's used. Use your conviction to govern your relationship, and that's problematic. Back to the finances and the time, just really quickly. With finances, I've always said you can't be taking someone out on a date when you are using pocket money that was given to you by your parents. That's disrespectful. They are giving you money to go and buy food and you're using it to take someone on a date. No, man. I've always said that's when you know you are not financially ready to be in a relationship. And that goes for both guys and girls. I'm not trying to say that men must pay. Even when,
please
you
say
must
that
also
again.
take him out to dinners.
I've got a note on that. I'll come back to you. Yeah.
And do it properly. Spend money on your man and spend your own money. Don't be using your dad's money to go and fund another person's child. So that's on the money. And the time, you both need to understand what season you are in terms of time. I have a lot of people who always assume I'm a busy person. Actually, they don't assume, Shem, I'm busy. That's just how it is. I'm a busy person. So someone who doesn't understand busyness will not understand me because they'll constantly be like, why are you so busy? Let's do this, let's do that. Let's get a 2-hour phone call, 3-hour phone call. Why aren't you talking to me? And it's like, but also, why are you so free? Like, why are you not... Why are you not busy? Why is it just me? So there needs to be that balance.
Yeah, no. So I was gonna note that with the expectation that is placed on men to provide financially, I say that wording was intentional. He's got to be a man who provides. Guys, provide is a term, a verb in itself that is actually very expansive. Provide what?
Yeah. Provide under what governance? Where in the Bible does it say you must provide during dating even?
So, yeah, I mean, you can provide support. You can provide a safe space. You can provide security. You can provide direction, vision.
So much.
You can provide a lot more, right? So that's one aspect. But I would then say if that is what is placed upon men, just consider this. If you initiate, follow through. So... If consider this, if I want to get to know a woman, I'm very aware that I need to spend time with her and then, inquire, research, ask questions, engage her. But I'm the one who wants to do that.
Yeah.
So therefore, I shall initiate, hey, let's meet. And therefore, I should follow in ensuring that it's...
Reach.
Right? If it's the other way around, ma'am...
Come on.
Do the works.
There it is.
You have spotted a gent in Pick and Pay, right? You walk up to him and you determine that, you initiate that, I want to get to know you because at first that I like the way you look, sir.
Yeah.
But I want to get to know beyond the looks. And so that means you need to spend time with the person and then get to know them.
Exactly.
If you're going to take him out on a date or for coffee or whatever, then you are expected to pay. Just as how, initiate, then follow through. So I think, firstly, it's just right.
Yeah.
It's fair.
We're human beings, Bazalwan.
Right.
Yeah.
And just lastly, just how we look at dating. Dating is actually quite young compared to the spectrum of life in terms of years that we've lived and known life to exist. It's only about 100 years old. Believe it or not. Dating is only 100 years old. And you must actually consider that some of the foundations or bases of dating are placed on circumstance. So men paying meant that he's the one who actually works and he's the one who actually earns money. So of course he's got to pay. If this was in 1909,
yeah,
right, or 1897.
What did 1897 do to you?
Right, 1897, men were working, women were at home. So of course, if a date is on the table, why would you expect a woman to pay if she doesn't earn money?
Exactly.
But now women are earning money.
There it is.
Come on.
We
celebrate that, but also that comes with responsibilities, or it comes with some sort of reason.
Yeah.
That, hey, if you want something nice, placing it upon a man when you earn money is unreasonable.
So true. And this example that you gave about you seeing a guy in the shops, what women do these days is you try to give him hints, as in you look at him, then you look away and then you look at him, and then you're praying that, Lord, lift him from the floor, let him float over to me, drop him, and let him, do the whole proposal, how you guys, initiate with your chest and follow through.
We call it ruthing. Hashtag ruthing. I don't know if I should also copyright that, but yeah, I don't know if I'm the one who came up with it, but I know I started saying it. Right?
It's yours.
But yeah, so ruthing, it's just pretty much positioning yourself as a woman, right? So if you really cannot utter the words, sir, I like you, I'm interested in you, then at least ruth. Like, you know what I'm saying? You know?
Yeah.
Because then, yeah, but...
Anyways.
Circumstances, right, have placed us in a lot of complications today.
Yeah.
Where now it's like, okay, relevance, alignment, purpose, intentionality, singleness. Just closing remarks then. On that note, like, why are you doing it? For the why.
It's a gift.
Where is it going? Right?
Yeah.
That's if you really are pressed to be paid up. Like, it's got to serve some sort of purpose that's meaningful.
Where's it coming from, like you said? Is it an external pressure? Is it is it the sabawet? Is it the Instagram posts? I won't even lie to you. There are these days where you'll go through Instagram, by the end of the day, you're like, no, I need a man in my life because, wow. Did you see? They were just in the Bahamas,
It's Miss London. What's it? No, not London. Miss London. Harvey.
Yeah,
Lara Harvey with Michael B.
Yeah. I'm seeing they post everywhere. And it's just like, what am I doing in my life? Yeah. So you must ask yourself, where is this coming from? Is it an internal desire? And if it is, what is the purpose? If it is something that you're going to actively pursue, where do you see yourself in the next 1-2 years?
Yeah.
If you were to, I always tell myself, Elma, if you got in a relationship today, where is it going?
See you happy.
Because now I'm going to Canada. So, is it following me?
Yeah, I know.
No,
it really is integral to ask the questions that are going to inform your decisions, right? Like, you gotta, and also, guys, listen. If you're gonna do what you're gonna do, this discussion is a discussion.
Yeah.
We're not instructing people to do anything.
Live your life.
Right? But I hope that it definitely informs you about your decisions regarding the romance. Yeah. So that's it from me. Miss Akob?
That's it from me too, guys. Love is great. Love is wonderful. We're not against love. Love is kind. Love is blind.
But timing.
But all the other things that love is love. But just... stay woke.
Yeah. Thank you, Miss Akob. Shout-ups, guys, remember to love your neighbor as you love yourself. This is Godfrey featuring Miss Akob. Love your neighbor as you love yourself.